8:37 here in the morning show, and I am joined by Matt Jacobson on the Newsmaker line. Matt, good morning and welcome to the WMT Morning Show. He is the founder and CEO of the Sears Global Business School. Hopefully I'm pronouncing that correctly. You might have seen some of his articles in Marketing Magazine, Wealth Creator, Business Builders, and a statistic that you have, Matt, for us that is just scary, and I need you to help me wrap my head around this. U.S. colleges, in comparison to world-class international universities, are up to 1,000% more expensive, take twice as long to graduate their students, and require years of classes that have no relevance to a student's career. What the hell is going on?
G'day, Doug. Thanks so much for the introduction.
Huh?
And you pronounced Dessert very well, so thanks so much.
Good.
Actually, yes, you're right. There's a number of challenges that create barriers for students in America to access higher education. Mm-hmm. And that's one of the things that we're really trying to achieve is how to get more people into college that have a dream of a college degree. But you asked about the stats, and that's not a typo. We work with British world-class accredited centuries-old universities delivering online degrees right here in the US. And US equivalent colleges are 1,000% more expensive. That means that you can get a full MBA or a bachelor's degree for something like $14,000. That's everything. No other textbook fees, admin fees, application fees, compared to typically around $120,000 minimum, at US colleges, and going up if you're talking about more prestigious colleges. But the average price in the US is $120,000. So that's on the pricing, but then you asked about some other things like relevance and time, and I'm happy to go into that as well if you like.
Yeah, we can do that. I just need to get an understanding of why this is happening in the United States when, look, we've got it's supposed to be a, quote, free, open market, more so than most European markets, which are semi-democratic socialists in a lot of places. Yet here, it's not the market driving the price, in my opinion. Do you have an idea of why that's happening?
There's a couple of reasons for it. And what you said is actually so interesting because it's not really talked about. But, you can probably tell from my accent, not originally from America.
Yeah, you're from Atlanta, aren't you? Is that where you're from? Okay.
Yeah, just a little bit further. Just go kind of all the way over the Pacific and you'll kind of reach Australia. But, you come here as an outsider and you think America just, flies the banner of independence and freedom and free will and freedom of expression and all of those great qualities. But when it comes to higher education, there's actually no freedom whatsoever. It is the most regulated system. You have to do years of college credits. If you want to be a graphic designer or you want to be an accountant, you're being told you have to take medieval history classes and Latin dance classes and foreign language classes that take years to do, and they cost a fortune, and you have no choice. And if someone says, but, I want my own kind of independent freedom of choice, and I don't want to study calculus, a college will say, well, okay, that's your choice then to just not come to our college and not graduate. But you can't actually do a program designed to fit around your individual needs. So that's one problem. All of those general credits mean that you don't have flexibility in the US system. You have actually much more flexibility in international systems. You can choose to just study things that you're interested in. But in the US, you have other complicating factors as well. You've just got this price war where what are you paying for in the US? You're paying for lazy rivers, climbing walls, sporting facilities.
Right.
And that's great. If you love it, fantastic. Go to an awesome college and pay for those things and use them. But 90% of kids don't use them, but they still all have to pay the cost of those facilities. And again, international schools are more about you're coming in to learn and get a great education, and that's it. And you're not getting all of those frills. Matt
Jacobson joining us here on the morning show, and Front Desk Sue, who's appropriately named. I think you can figure out what Front Desk Sue does for a living and who she is. She puts up a note to me, and first of all, she's shaking her head vigorously and then giving me the "it costs lots of money" sign, and then she shows me a note that says, and then senior year, you can't get the class that you need to have in order to graduate because all their concentration are on these junk classes that are meant to promote, quote, the liberal arts. We're graduating. Man, I'm going to tell you my opinion here, like you asked for it. I think that we are in the business in the United States now of educating people who are professional grievance mongers. These are people, for the most part, that's what they're doing now. I mean, when you have separate, now they're doing this whole complete separation of dormitories for people of color. They're doing graduation ceremonies designed for different peoples of color, different income specifications. We're turning up people who are professional protesters and grievance makers, and not professionals that have an actual education in anything.
Well, I think the comments that you're making are really, really interesting and, go to the heart of some of the root problems with education, which is that we should be catering to the individual. We should absolutely be catering to diversity and inclusion. So that is something that is a real positive in education. But, the point that Sue made, and I'll start with that, around you can't get into classes. This is why it takes twice as long to do an American college degree compared to doing a world-class British university degree, a Desir University of East London degree, or a Desir University of Wales degree. Why? Because it's called in the US a 4-year college degree.
Yeah.
Someone should take, action around misrepresentation in the marketplace, because it's called a 4-year college degree. Now, if you stop someone in the street and said, how long do you think a 4-year college degree takes? They go, 4 years.
Oh.
Well, it doesn't. The average college completion is 5 to 6 years.
No, and that's something I was reading. There's a study that I was talking about the other night on another program. The millennials right now, they're graduating 6 years. That's how long they take to get a 4-year degree now.
Correct. And it's because of what Sue said. So you have to take all these mandatory classes that actually don't provide any value and relevance to your career anyway, but you have to take them. And then you can't get into those classes because you have to schedule them, and you can't perfectly align every credit you need from French literature to that medieval history class in the semester you need to graduate within 4 years. So universities and colleges now, they won't even tell you their graduation rates in 4 years because students don't graduate in 4 years. They'll tell you, we'll give you quotes on our graduation rates in 6 years. Now, in the UK, with online degrees, and, that's what we do, but not just us, any UK institution, in fact, any European institution, you can do a full bachelor's degree in 3 years, and it's really 3 years. But the UK is even going the other way. The government is promoting and incentivising universities and students to accelerate their degree,
and that's
so they can finish in
That's
under
a very
3
smart
years.
thing. I apologize, Matt. I've got to run because I'm up against hard break because we've got to get to the next program. I only got so much time. Where do people find more about Desir Global Business School and what you do, Matt Jacobson?
Thanks, Doug. Just go to Desir.education, DUCERE.education, and you can check out all the programs and, affordable options.
So glad I had the opportunity to talk to you today. Matt, thank you very much. Have a wonderful weekend and be well, okay?
You too. Thanks, Doug.
All right, will do.